I talk about Lego on my lives, but if you don't know, I'm a Cordon Bleu trained chef, and that's where my first love is teaching cooking. I did it for 6 years, and I want to show you one of my go-tos. I love cauliflower rice. I love vegetables. Vegetables is what we should be eating. Not all, just vegetables, but we need to eat vegetables. And so cauliflower rice is very popular. Lots of people have lovely videos on how they cook their cauliflower rice. And today I want to show you the way I do it. I don't like to buy it frozen. If you buy frozen cauliflower that's been riced, a good portion of it is all of this. I want to pay for just this. I want to eat this, but I want to eat this too. And so I buy fresh cauliflower. When I get it home, I cut the little bottom nubbin off, and then I soak it in water for about 5 minutes. And then after that, I drain it and put it in a container and put it in the fridge. And then I cut off the portion that I need. And so before we get started today, if you checked out my community page before I started this, I said that you would need a cutting board, maybe I didn't mention a cutting board, but I said you need a knife or cauliflower and a shredder. I like the size of holes on this. There's all different kinds of sizes. I even have this old antique one that's really big. Not good for cauliflower rice. This size is perfect. And I like this one. You can use a box grater, whatever you have. And then we have a knife. And what I want to talk about with knives and cutting boards, you can see my cutting board here. Make sure that your knife is smaller than your cutting board. Your blade should be able to fit on your cutting board at any angle, no matter what. And then when we're cutting, we're going to use a bear claw. So if you can see your fingernails when you're cutting, they're going to come off, or the ends of your fingers if you're like me and don't have fingernails. So you got to keep them tucked in. That's also the way that chefs learn how to cut, and then they can talk to you and cut. I'm not going to do that though. I like my fingers, and I have a real job that I have to go to, and they're not going to be happy if I have to not go to work because of cut fingers. So another thing for safety is underneath my cutting board, I have a little shelf liner. You can use a damp cloth or whatever, but something anti-slip to keep your board still. Hello, we have some people out there. Where are you from? I'm in Arizona right now. I did bring glasses. I don't need my glasses to cut and cook, but it might be helpful to see who is out there. All right, so with your cutting board and your bear claw and your cauliflower, over here at the stove top, I have a pot, a skillet, and a lid ready. If you don't have a lid, grab a pan, another size pan or cooking sheet to put over it. It's not imperative, but it will help because you want to steam the rice a little bit first. So, because this is going to go pretty fast, I am going to go ahead and preheat my pan. You know, it's very important to preheat your pan, especially if you're using cast iron or stainless steel. I don't really cook with anything else. I have cast iron enameled, and I have pure raw cast iron. I have one non-stick skillet or a saucepan for like making jellies or melting chocolate and stuff like that in, but I don't use it very often. So I'm going to go ahead and preheat this just on low because I'm going to talk for a minute. So I'm just going to put it on a 3. Thanks, guys, for joining. I see some newbies out there. Cocaine, what's that got to do with anything? All right, so I'm going to go ahead and cut my cauliflower in half. When you go to cut something, find the flat side. If it doesn't have a flat side, make one real fast. But I have a little flat side here. So I'm going to put flat side down. I'm going to cut this cauliflower in half. I got my bear claw, pinch grip. You guys know the pinch grip? So I have a global knife here. That means, well, it doesn't mean anything, but it's who made it. But I have a full tang here. The knife is all one piece. So I'm going to choke up on the handle. So you have the little bolster here. Your middle finger goes there. Your thumb and index finger curl around into the pinch grip. I'm going to bear claw on my cauliflower, and I'm just going to slice down. And then now I have another flat surface. I don't need this cauliflower. I'm going to spin this one around to this flat surface, and I'm going to cut in and get some of the roots off and some of these leaves off. I want to kind of leave a handle though. So I just cut some of those roots off, or the green part leaves. So I have this part of the handle. All right, what are you guys saying? Right on. People should record themselves and watch the video. Why? Do I look stupid? Oh, well, whatever. All right, so you have your shredder, and then we're just going to take the cauliflower and grate the cauliflower. It can get messy, so if you want, you can do it over a bowl. But I figured I'd show you how messy it can be. If you go slow, it's not as bad. I'm just going to grate all the way down. I don't want to get the core though. I'll just grate all the little flowers off and the stems they grow from. I find that a quarter of a cauliflower gives me one portion. So if you want to cook for more than one person, get a bigger skillet than I got and grate more cauliflower. But there you go. I got it down to there. Put all that to the side. And my skillet is getting warm, but it's not, whoop, hello. It's not quite warm enough. So I'm going to bring the camera over to here. And then that way we can see my stove a little bit better. How about that? All right. And then, so now I know it's a little warm, but I'm going to bump it up to a 6. I have an electric stove. What are you going to do? But it's getting warm. I'm touching it. I have chef fingers, so don't do that. You can take a few drops of water on your fingers, and it's not really sizzling away yet. I want it to be a little bit hotter than that. It's boiling, but it didn't instantly go away. And then you can just go straight into the pan, but I'm going to take just a little bit of olive oil just to cover the pan, just to make it shiny. I don't have enough to drip it out. I just use the brush to coat it. And then I'm going to use a little bench scraper and scrape up my cauliflower. And then, do you hear the sizzle? Got a little bit of sizzle going, which we want, because we want the natural juices in it to start coming out and start steaming. And in order to do that, we want to help draw the juices out of the cauliflower, which is one of the ways to make it not taste like cauliflower. And by doing that, we're going to add salt. I have all kinds of salt, but this one is Himalayan pink. I have iodized salt. I have Maldon flakes. I have kosher. Are you supposed to use cast iron on glass stove tops? They may tell you not to, but that's just because they don't want you to break it because they're heavy. You can use it. Cooks like a charm. Depends on how smart your stove top is. This one here, a little too smart for cast iron. It doesn't hold a temperature well because it's smart and it keeps trying to adjust the heat, and it won't keep a constant temperature because it doesn't know what to do with the heat of that cast iron pan, which is fine if I'm doing fast cooking. If I'm going to deep fry something, which I don't do often, but this is how I found out, I will use stainless steel for that. But the main thing where your glass top is, they just don't want you breaking it. So you can see here I have a little bit of browning in my pan already. So now I'm going to give it a stir. And then now that I have a little bit of browning, I'm going to spread it out into an even coat, and then I'm going to put a lid on it. And no magic of television here, because we're just going to do this live as it cooks. You can turn this into fried rice, cauliflower rice. You can turn it into all kinds of things. We're just going to do it straight up today. That being said, there's not many things that I cook that doesn't involve garlic. So I don't want chunks of garlic in this though. So I'm going to use a little bit of garlic powder. All right. Thanks for joining, everybody. If you like what you see, go ahead and hit the heart and subscribe to the channel, Bricks and Kitties. We might just start doing live cooking videos every Wednesday afternoon that I don't work. All right, let's see what we got here. We got a lot of steam built up on this lid. I'm going to open it up, and don't let the water, the condensation that's built up on the lid, don't let that go back in the pan, because we're trying to get rid of all of the water. This browning though, you guys, this is what helps get rid of that cauliflower taste, and what gives some umami flavor, and it helps caramelize the carbohydrates that are in the cauliflower, and that's just what helps make it tasty. So I'm going to go ahead and drop my skillet to a 4 right now. I don't want it to start getting black, and you can see the bottom of the pan's really hot right there. And then another little spread out of layer, and let it cook, this time with no lid. And you're just going to let it saute for a few minutes. And because I dropped the heat, the moisture in the pan is going to start loosening some of this browning that we have going on, and then transferring it to our cauliflower, giving even more flavor. So I'm going to give it a little taste test here to see if it's al dente. Now, I do have a wooden spoon, which I can taste test with that if I want to, because it won't be hot from cooking and it won't burn my mouth. But I'm going to go ahead and give it a little taster. Good texture. Needs some flavor. So I'm going to go in with more salt. Some pepper. Fresh ground pepper, y'all. Don't buy anything else. You want fresh ground pepper because of the oils. And then we're going to go in with a little pinch of garlic powder. No garlic salt. We can measure our salt. Just a little pinch there. All right, I'm giving another little stir here. All right. There it is. It does not smell or taste too much like cauliflower. It always smells a little cabbagey in the house because you're steaming it. All right, let that cook, and I'm going to go grab a plate. Be right back. Yellow for white cauliflower? No. What do we got? Blue. How about that? We want to offset the color of the food, make it a little bit more visually appealing. All right. So there we have our serving of cauliflower rice. Enough for one person. So it's 1/4 of a cauliflower. And there you go. There is fresh cauliflower rice. And we did that in less than 15 minutes, and could have done it and a lot faster. But, I stood around and talked to you guys. So what do you guys think? Will you make it? Will you make it? And then how about I will make sure and plan something ahead for next Wednesday at 1 p.m. And I will put out the list of ingredients on Monday, and we'll see what we can cook together if you guys want to join in and cook with me. All right, let's see how it tastes. Grab a fork. I know how it tastes. It's fucking good because I made it. Oh, yeah. Yeah. All right, you guys. Like and subscribe. Bricks and Kitties here. My name's Stacy. Thanks for joining. All right, you guys. Bye.